days. So that's
resilience.
Yeah, her resilience.
Yeah.
You know?
And maybe that's why you persevere with things. You know this is going to be cool. You know it's going to take a while to get at, but perseverance is the key.
And I guess I'm just like, it's very hard to offend me in any way. I don't take offense to anything. So.
I've done my best. But I ain't just
or get me like angry. I can't remember the last time I've been like, I've been angry as such. So
yeah,
I think, but then, you know, kids are a lot different now. So,
and that's a really good point, because I guess that's why we connected really well, is just the knowledge that you have. You know, you've been researching cameras and learning about stuff, and you're always delving into things. I see a lot of commonality in that. And then to have one foot in being 23 and have a perspective of what's cool, I found that really valuable to hang out with. But by far and away, the best trait you have is just how calm you are. Like when I'm shooting and shit's going to shit, like my batteries run out, the other one's up on some boat some far away or something like that. You just look at me, I just look at you and I'm like, you're like, damn, here's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, in that regard, but I also am a very paranoid person.
Yeah.
Like, especially with shoots and stuff like that, I'll have a backup for everything. I'll have a backup way to power my camera, a second backup way, you know, second media. If we go on like a trip, I'll have a second camera in case the first one fails and stuff like that. So, or if I'm like packing up my stuff and we're leaving a location, I'll take a photo of my camera bag. So then when that's all packed away, I'm in the car or something, I can open up that photo just to like make sure. So in that regard, it might be chill, but that's
how I find that's really hard for me, because a lot of the time I'm interfacing with a client or the person we're doing a story with.
Yeah.
And so you kind of like, you don't want to lose eye contact with them almost. So you want to like look at them talking, and I'm putting shit down all over the place. Just trying to keep the momentum of like the mood of the shoot or the information.
Yeah, so the social interaction with them. I think that's why we work well together, is because you handle that, and just making sure stuff keeps moving on like the technical side, and, you know, we're not forgetting anything, or, you know, you might forget a piece for your camera, but that's all right, because I bought like 3 spares. We could,
so true. But having such a broad skill set as well, like if we're drawing a Venn diagram, I think between us almost we cover a fucking lot of ground, you know? Between skill sets as well. So that's worked pretty well. So out of the stuff we've worked on, what's come your like some favorite memories you've got from that?
I think all the broom trips is probably the biggest one. The first one was pretty crazy. That was a pretty like crazy experience in general, with like all the different places that we stayed.
Oops, sorry, say that again.
The broom trip for Nature's Finest, that sizzle.
Yeah.
Where all the different places we stayed, the different places we shot.
Yeah.
Like the different environments we were in. Well, I remember being in like the little tinny, and there was crocodiles surrounding us, and you were making me stand on like the bow of the boat shooting. I was looking down, I'm like, holy shit, I'm going to die. Croc's going to come and eat me. And but I had to just get the shot anyway. Yeah. And stuff like that. And I guess you just remember that. And then the cruise as well, Ocean Dream. That was another big one.
Yeah. How crazy was it when we're doing the drone shots of Benny and Soph making a campfire, and you're on the land? And then I flew the drone for like this epic orbit shot. And then what's in the bottom of my frame is a giant crocodile just hiding under the sand, like just lower than you could see on the horizon, about 20 meters from you. A giant fucking crocodile just sitting there lurking, waiting for you guys.
I bet you're there counting your fingers, counting the life insurance payout that you're going to get from me because you booked my travel insurance.
Yeah. Southern Cross travel insurance, shout out.
But I mean, that makes for an even better experience. Yeah. I think from all those broom trips and watching you direct, when I like started directing and shooting my own stuff, it was a lot easier.
Yeah, why's that?
Well, just seeing how you interact with the client, knowing what you need, like the edit as well, and just getting that kind of vision, and directing an interview as well. I think that's the important thing, and really like pushing to like not settling for just like a kind of subpar answer. You know, going again, really getting exactly what you need, making them say things 3-4 times. And I think that's what I carried over when I started shooting for Dickies. Yeah. And that sort of stuff was, you know.
And that comes from editing your own stuff. Like, I mean, how many times in early career, I wanted to be liked by the client, by the person I'm interviewing or something like that. So you don't want to fuck them around. So you just kind of like, what do you reckon? Yep, good. That sounds good. Yeah, there you go. Then you're in edit, you go, oh my God, I got nothing. So if you're from an outside looking in at people interviewing people, there seems to be not much going on. The camera's static. They're sitting there, you're sitting there, you're just talking. but in your head, you're like doing a real time edit. You're like, yep, got that sound
Making sure you've got it. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's like, it's in your, like after an interview, I'm knackered because of that, the speed of which you do that processing.
Definitely. I think, well, for me, I think it's more important, well, it's obviously more important to please the client. I don't mind pushing the subject and, annoying them, getting exactly what I need, if it's going to make the video better. Because at the end of the day, it's all everyone's really there for, is trying to make the best thing possible. So,
yeah,
I mean, if you ruffle a few feathers, I mean, why not?
Yeah.
I guess the whole process
That's
of it.
That's courageous. Yeah, that's good. And in terms of your own sort of style, what's like, something what's a style you're going for when you do a lot of music videos now, right?
I'm trying to. I want to do more music videos, but it all changes depending on project, So I like a lot of stuff with like poppy, vibrant colors. I like shooting at night. I like, almost like that cyberpunky type vibe. But then again, there's like, I've shot like Aussie rap videos and it's like completely different. So I think what you got to do, you got to be a bit of a chameleon and be able to, change into these different, aesthetics and looks and styles that, people want. Because ultimately, as a cinematographer, you got to, create that aesthetic from the director and the client's vision. So
but I think, you're only going to be a DP as a freelancer, really, right?
Definitely.
And on stuff you can't afford other people because you might as well just shoot it yourself. But essentially, if you're a tastemaker, you've got like the soul of a director, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So eventually you're going to have a taste and style and references and looks. You can go shoot your own lookbooks, storyboard out your own shots as demos, and then go, this is the style I'm looking for. Heaps of references. And that's what a job of a director is.
I'm sure like if I put all the stuff that I've kind of directed together, I would see like a style, but I don't think I've directed enough to, be able to discern what exactly my style is. I directed a few corporates and like a few little music videos, but I don't think it's not enough of a body of work for me to, exactly know what my style is. Yeah. So,
and if you look back at like, you won an editing award in high school, right?
Yeah.
So if you look back at that, at the time, you're like, this is the best work in the state, verifiably, because I got an award. But then you're like, now you look at it now, do you go, oh my God, what a noob?
Well, I didn't even want to be an editor. I didn't even think the editing was that good. I thought like the cinematography aspect was better on, that video. But I don't know. I never really thought about it like that. I just made the video. I thought, oh, it's all right. And then got asked to submit it. And then it's every like artist of their work, you don't like, I'm thinking, oh yeah, it's good. It's good. But you're always like self-critical about what it is. So,
is that voice, the critical voice, a driver for you?
Is that critical voice a driver? I think so. Well, especially if I'm like directing, editing, producing, shooting a project, then I'll just keep going and fixing until like it gets to some level that I feel like it's acceptable. But that might take like a lot of,
I think I've seen a lot of, just on, sets I've been on, you've seen lots of directors and the way they do things. And you can see the ones that their voice is really strong, that critical voice, because they take it out on the crew or they're getting frustrated or they're running, they're stressed for a reason.
Yeah.
And that's like, but that's an internal thing going, oh my God, this is not good enough, imposter syndrome, all that crap. Because being a director, having 20 people looking at you, they're good because you hired them.
Yeah.
But they go, is this guy any good? You worry about that. So I think like part of going, you know what? That's good enough for this project on these resources. And then off we go.
I think that's a big thing, especially when you're shooting for someone else. You got to be confident in your work. Because if you're not confident in your own work, why should the director be confident in your own work and like whatnot? So I think it's a bit of a catch-22. It all depends if you're like the leading creative, Yeah. It's it's a tough one.
So where's some cool places that you've shot? What's some shoots you've had that have been enjoyable, like for your own trips?
Shoots that I found enjoyable. All like when I was in uni, those shoots were quite enjoyable because it just felt like, you're getting together with your friends and shooting. There was like no pressure really. I mean, you're making something for an assessment, but like, does it really matter that much? I mean, not really. So, I mean, those are pretty fun. The shoots when I'm on with like my friends, that's the best ones. So, whatever they may be, it could be a corporate, it could be a music video, it could be like the most boring, like talking head interview.
Yeah.
But if I'm there with my friends, then it's just as fun as, doing anything that's more like creatively stimulating. So
yeah. And that's cool when you can stop every now and then. You stop and you look around. And you go, yeah, I'm with my friends, and we are traveling to this place. Doing whatever. That's always good fun. Yeah,
it's almost like a little road trip when you're with your friends going to shoot this project. Even if it's a boring corporate, it's still like a little little adventure, and you get through it. You have fun whilst you're doing it.
That's kind of the feeling, because I loved, to sound weird, but I love school camps growing up, and just being with your friends, 4 people out in Nanga Bush camp or something like that for a week. No parents, being yourself.
Yeah.
Doing stuff. I was like, this is my favorite feeling. Like, I used to hate coming home. And and then I just realized being on a film set just feels like that, school camp.
Yeah, some film sets where I used to like get home and I just couldn't wait to get back the next day.
To go see all your friends. And
just to shoot. I was like, just so like hyped. I was like, I just couldn't wait to, and I just couldn't sleep. I remember it was like one shoot, I didn't sleep for like 2 days because I was just like hella hyped.
Yeah.
So by like the 3rd day of the shoot, I was pretty tired, but then if I'm like ACing or anything like that, it does zap the fun.
Non-creative zaps the fun.
Yeah.
I find.
I'm just essentially a tradesman. And then messing up the focus is like a focus puller. It's a very stressful scenario.
Yeah.
For sure.
And also if your DP goes, we're going to shoot low light, wide open, vintage lenses, the shit doesn't not easy. Like, we're going to have this moving in plane, the camera's moving. It's like nearly an impossible calculation to do from a little screen in the next room,
Yeah. I mean, I'll do it. If it's like, a DP that I like their work, then I'll lighting assist, I'll second AC, because now I like watching people.
Yeah.
Like, I like watching cinematographers work. If like I could have like any learning experience, it'd just be like sitting on set and just watching these like, cinematographers a lot better than me.
Yeah.
See how they work, see how they light. And I think that's all I need in order to like get better, is just watch that and then go apply it for myself.
Yeah. I think that was the transition, because when I started uni, I was on my own because it was a master's. So I was on no one else. And the lady's like, what do you want to be? My supervisor. And I was like, director. So, okay. I was a writer director. But then watching a rock star like Denson Baker, he came on one of our student films. And like he basically rocked in, shot the hell out of it, was super cool, got out of there. And he's always sitting next to the actors, sitting near the action, hearing what the director's saying, learning all of that stuff as well.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a better job, because you're always in the middle of the action. You don't have to you're not a wardrobe person who's got to go stand outside during the takes or something like that.
You're right in the thick of it.
You're right in the thick of it, yeah. And there's a good conversations going around. And you're seeing the movie get made, which I think is a really important part of that.
Definitely. That's the process is the fun part. If you don't like the process of making it, then it's a bit pointless, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. So what's coming up for you for travel plans? What do you got coming up?
Going to South Korea in about 5 weeks, but that's really all. I like the whole culture in South Korea. The whole entertainment industry just looks pretty crazy. And I've just always been interested in that side of it. Like I've loved Japan. My dad's from Singapore, so I've been to Singapore like over 20 times. So kind of, going to Asian countries is, I don't know, feels more normal than for me going to like Europe or like America or anything like that.
Awesome. And if people want to follow your work, how can they get a hold of you?
Good question. Instagram is always a shot. Jakob C. Wells, or like email. You know how it be. But like I'd say Instagram. Social media is so big these days for everyone. I mean, like you meet someone, you don't exchange numbers anymore. You're exchanging like Instagrams.
Yeah.
So, and it's a very like low commitment way of exchanging info. I feel like phone numbers is quite personal.
Yeah.
Whereas an Instagram, it's like, they can follow you. They'll just be one of like 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 people.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that has its positives and it has its like negatives as well. Don't get me wrong. But
I think one of the positives is like, I don't remember people's names really. Like if they meet you and they go, let's exchange numbers or give me a business card, I'm like, the fuck is this person again? Exactly. But if I've got them on Instagram, I can go look and go, oh yeah, that's that person from Running of the Bulls or something.
Or you'll see them post and they'll jog your memory as to like who they are and what they do.
Yeah. And I think that's how you put projects together now. Like if you got a budget of $100,000 and you needed to make a certain thing, people, you've got a network to get it done based on looking at their Instagrams and knowing what they can do. And also, I think you also know that they're self-starting people because they're posting on their Instagram, they're doing different projects. They're the sort of get up out of bed people.
And it's such a good place for like inspiration and like lookbooks and like even to like figure out how to rig something. You might see some people do some like outrageous thing and some like real cool way of lighting or like rigging a camera to something. And it just like jogs ideas. So I think, Instagram's a good source of inspiration, definitely, for this creative work.
Awesome. All right, you heard it. So Jacob with a K, Jakob.